Willie Nelson has had his share of legal issues, pot problems, tax issues, and that one time a woman sued him for $50 million after she said she spent 9 straight hours playing with Trigger. Oh no, not that Trigger. TMZ would have made millions from Willie stories if the internet existed in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Some of the best Willie Nelson stories have been exaggerated over the years, and the singer doesn't help by selectively forgetting key details like this sexcapade. The country legend has both fessed up to it and said things like, "You would have thought I remembered at least the first 4 or 5 hours. It supposedly involved a somersault at the end, but it's not clear if the lawsuit went anywhere, which means it probably did." The woman sued because he wouldn't marry her afterward. Willie has been married 4 times and experienced some tragedy and heartbreak, but more on that in a second. Willie Hugh Nelson was born in Abbott, Texas during the Depression and says his longtime signature look, a bandana and tennis shoes, came from his childhood wardrobe. Choices were limited. Perhaps another time we'll dig into his early life, but for now we'll fast forward to his time in Nashville, which started after the Air Force, odd jobs in sales, and as a radio DJ, and after he recorded I've Sung My Last Hillbilly Song in the mid-50s at a radio station in San Antonio.
But I hope and I pray you'll forgive me when I've sang my last hillbilly song.
Writing Patsy Cline's Crazy put some jingle in his jangle, and by the mid-60s he was playing the Opry on occasion. How great is pre-long hair Willie Nelson? Kinda looks like a guy you'd take home to mama, right? Surely this isn't the same guy who fired a shotgun at his son-in-law. Oh yeah, it happened. 1969. Crib Notes version? Willie heard the guy was hitting his daughter, so he, quote, slapped Steve around. Steve came back shooting. Willie grabbed an M1 and a shotgun and fired back. Steve came looking for him, so Willie hid in his truck and ambushed Steve, blowing out his truck tire. Then he told the cops that Steve drove over the bullet. It worked. It resulted in a pretty great album and this cool t-shirt. This is Willie Nelson. You'll find other gun battles online, plus harrowing stories of plane crashes and car wrecks. Nelson says he's wrecked hundreds of cars. According to doctors, pot doesn't cause you to wreck cars, which is good because he smokes a lot of it. Snoop Dogg even says Willie can outsmoke him. Once Willie was arrested for having over 1.5 pounds of weed on his tour bus. What does that look like? Well, according to this guy I know, it's between 1 and 2 gallon-sized Ziploc bags full of weed. Time out for this disclaimer and note to my boss. This part right here is the reason for all the weird searches on my computer and the questionable items in my expense report. It was, research. Time in. Our favorite Willie weed story is the time he smoked on the White House roof. It was during the Carter administration, about 1980, and the president says he knows nothing about it but his son's money. Okay, one more Willie story. This one comes from his early days in Nashville, and it's kind of sad. The redheaded stranger once attempted suicide. He laid down in the middle of Broadway in Nashville, hoping a truck would smush him. Scary, right? Maybe not. It was 3 a.m. and it was snowy out, and as every southerner knows, when it snows, you get your eggs, you get your milk, and you stay the heck off the roads. Nashville didn't treat him well, but Texas fit like a glove. So now you know Willie Nelson. Well, at least you know him a little bit better. Some other things to know? He told author Kinky Friedman that he smokes dope to keep down the rage. His bus driver tells Texas Monthly that you can get drunk and miss a show and keep your job, but if you mistreat a fan, you're in big trouble. And his friends will say Willie has lived a harder life than anyone will ever know. Most notably, his son committed suicide in 1991. Author Bud Shrake summed it up best by comparing the singer to a buffalo. You see, the reason buffaloes have so much hair around their face is because they always face into the storm. The same, he says, is true of Nelson. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on Twitter and Facebook. And be sure to check back every Monday for more You Think You Know Country.